Hogwarts Legacy is an action role-playing game from Portkey Games. Released for PlayStation 5 on February the 10th, Hogwarts Legacy has dominated sales of 2023. I was excited at the game's announcement but slightly concerned during the marketing period and the start of the game. But did it win me over?
Let's find out! Lower the gates!
The year is 1890. You were a new 5th-year student starting your first school year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. On your way, complications cause you to take a detour, ending in you discovering that you possess an abnormal ability to see and manipulate traces of an ancient magic. With this newfound power, it's up to you to stop Ranrock, a power-hungry separatist goblin with his own army, and uncover a magical secret. The game is accompanied by many interesting characters that are well voice acted and written. Sebastian is a Slytherin, who has an ill sister at home that he worries about while you engage with him in missions. It just helps the NPCs seem more real when they have their own problems, irregardless of your ambitions in the game. While I like the gameplay flow, I think the main narrative plays it a bit safe. It gives you a great range of the lessons with opportunities to explore, but I can't get down with the choice to make you the chosen one from the very start of the game. It seems like unnecessary power fantasy when I'm already in a world where I have magical powers. It's obviously not a deal breaker, but they could have pushed the boat a little more in terms of narrative. However, the side content, like the companion quests and side quests, were really well written and elevated their gameplay. While the main story seemed a little derivative of a lot of mainstream games, you are the chosen one, you must master the powers, uncover secrets and defeat the big bad, there's plenty of quality side content and characters that make you want to see it through. Exploration is a selling feature of this game. Not only the entirety of Hogwarts Castle, but also a neighbouring Hogsmeade and the hamlets and villages that surround Hogwarts. Hop on your broom and soar over all of this, while looking for enemies to fight, animals to rescue, ingredients for your potions, and so much more. Combat, like a lot of games, is inspired by the Batman Arkham system, using timed counters, hit streak finishes, and a tool wheel. Yet it still maintains originality with its magical-driven focus. 21 total spells for you to unlock and play with, combining them for different effects on enemies. Cast Confringo to set one enemy on fire, then counterattack to stun an enemy, use Depulso to send one enemy flying off the edge, then use Veriverto to turn an enemy into an explosive barrel, then launch that barrel at another enemy, killing them both. It has enough variety where combat is usually engaging and exciting, and all of these spells can be boosted for various effects whenever you level up, letting you prioritise your favourite school of magic. There are a couple of cool tools to use as well. Brew potions in the room of requirement, then use them during combat. One potion letting your skin turn into a rocky texture, reflecting spells back at enemies for a short time. Or pull out a mandrake to deliver a piercing scream to stun them. Combining the spells, potions and plants and environmental based attacks has you dancing around enemies as you rapidly blast them down. The flying takes some getting used to, but once you do, soaring across the sky is really fun and alleviates the problem that plagues so many open world games. Dead traversal, meaning that there's little to hold the player's attention while travelling between mission objectives. However, that isn't the case here, as you can reach quest locations quickly and with plenty of things to do along the way should they take your fancy. It's not perfect and could do with some tweaking. It would be nice to go faster for one thing, and some tricks and spins in the air would be cool, potentially opening up flight combat. 90 to 180 degrees sharp turns would be a nice upgrade, giving you more control over your broom. Despite this, it's still a really great feature to let you explore the world with. I originally scoffed when I found out there would be clothing options in the game, as I assumed I'd be rocking the student robes throughout. However, I couldn't have been more wrong. The huge level of customization is another feature made with love. Robes, pointy wizard hats, London-inspired fashion, glasses, jackets. The number of outfits available here is sure to leave everyone satisfied. And you can scale better clothing stats with your favourite outfit so you can dress exactly as you want without penalty. Wow, there's so much to go through. There are unique magical animal species that you can rescue from the world and bring them back to natural habitat dimensions within the room of requirement. You can brush them, feed them, breed them, build playpens for them, and go on to harvest their materials to upgrade your favourite outfits. It's a nice gameplay loop that is helped by how adorable all the creatures are, and there's still so much more. Merlin trials, bandits and goblin camps, arena areas, magical puzzles, broomstick trials, and probably a few more things I'm forgetting. Needless to say, the game offers a lot of content. Many open world games are boring, empty to-do lists, and while some of that formula is present here, Legacy does it in the best way. I wanted to do all the side quests when completing the game. I wanted to fly between camps, trashing all the poachers and goblins. I wanted to upgrade my broomstick to its fastest speed. Hogwarts Legacy takes an old, somewhat overused open world formula and revitalizes it in the best way possible. Before I go on to visuals, I have one small complaint. The HUD is a huge distraction from how good the game looks. Yes, you can turn it off in the menu, and the game comes with a trail-based navigational mechanic so you can turn off the minimap, but it's not as customizable as I'd like. Why can't I turn off my health bar or set it to where it disappears outside of combat, same for my minimap? There are missions where my objective is to literally follow someone, and there are 3 different things on screen telling me where to go. I recognise the rating for Hogwarts Legacy is a 12, but I would give 12-year-olds more credit. I don't think it would bother me as much if the UI was designed to be more subtle. Bright green is not complementary to the Victorian old-school aesthetic. With that minor gripe out of the way, Hogwarts has been made with a great attention to detail and love of the original source material. The game being set 200 years earlier allowed them to make creative modifications while still keeping the nostalgia and overall design of the castle. There's the Great Hall with its astral projected starry sky, the herbology wing with overgrown plants that stretch out of the classroom, the potions room with bottles and jars and workstations. 4 separate common rooms depending on your house. It's not just the scenery and setting that are well crafted, but individual assets as well. Animals all look adorable with big Disney-esque eyes. The man-made signs are some of the best I've ever seen, utilising bright colours and imagery to catch your attention. While there are some occasional pop-ins during flight, the world looks so impressive while airborne. Graphics are not photorealistic, but still everything was pleasing to look at and I had no complaints. I will say outside of cutscenes, lip syncing is pretty bad, and this is made more noticeable by the game's camera lock dialogue system that likes to zoom in nice and close. While the game really needs a more dynamic HUD to let all the visuals shine front and centre, Hogwarts Legacy is a charming, good looking game that makes it such a pleasure to explore. Starting with music, another fine job well done. Not only good music throughout, but also a wide variety depending on location and combat. Each animal sanctuary in the Room of Requirement comes with its own matching theme, giving each its own experience and feel. The music echoes the triumphant score seen in the movies while still being its own thing. Voice acting is good, from elderly wizards to students, everyone seems to match their character nicely. Spells each have unique sounds, which is a bonus considering how often you'll use them. They even have enchanted instruments play classical music in certain areas of Hogwarts Castle. With the huge variety of noises and music in the game, you can see the effort in the sound design maximising the player's immersion. I thought I'd give improvements its own section, as while the game is good, there are a few things holding it back from its full potential. I've already mentioned the distracting HUD and the dodgy lip syncing, but to attack something larger first, I found the opening to the game strange, from knowing a little about the franchise. You don't get to experience the Hogwarts Express,
Anything off the trolley, dear?
Nor the boat ride up to the castle. To be fair, perhaps to get the player into gameplay quicker, but it takes you an hour to get to Hogwarts, which is the part I feel everybody wants. For more minor points, doors sometimes have a loading time, causing you to mash your body into them until they load. A lot of the interactability is pointless. Things like rotate a globe and ring a bell. Yay. I wouldn't have minded this if there was way more interactive moments that let you see something cool, but on their own they feel pointless and shallow. The sweet shop honeydukes feels similar. You can interact with a few things, normally sweets, and an animation will play out. You'll eat a fire sweet and breathe fire all over the wooden countertops to no effect, and the animation ends. Yay. Wouldn't have this been fairly easy to implement into combat? It could go into your tool wheel as a short-range fire weapon, and would stand to give the shop and the item itself purpose in the world. Final thing, the lessons are such a disappointment. They're essentially a short cinematic with a single QTE, then you've unlocked the skill. I wish they had taken inspiration from previous installments like Half-Blood Prince on last gen. That game had its own potion minigame where you manually stir, mix, apply heat, all to create your potion. This could have made the lessons way more engaging, more fitting with the source material, and would create replay value as players cater their builds to the lessons they want to work hardest at. This would have provided a lot of role-playing in this action RPG. Final thing, no Quidditch. Hogwarts Legacy is a great game. An amazing testament to the franchise created back in 1997 by J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter fans probably already have the game, and for them it will be a 10 out of 10 territory. If you're not into Harry Potter, then you may not be as biased as me, but I think you still have a fun world to explore here, along with unique original side quests, a fluid engaging combat system with plenty of variants, charming characters, and a huge map with the best traversal option of any open world game I've ever played. While I found the main story to be a bit tame, and suffered some overall jankiness, Hogwarts Legacy gets an 8 out of 10. A huge well done to Portkey Games. Give us that Quidditch DLC, or I'll...